culture. What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with whatever. What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another haircut tutorial. Today we got my boy. Alright guys, so before we start, I want to quickly thank everybody that's been supporting the channel as we did just cross that 400k subscriber mark. As we promised, we're going to be doing another giveaway. All y'all got to do is comment y'all's TikTok username down in the comments as many times as y'all want, and y'all follow us on TikTok and make sure y'all are subscribed to this channel. We will be announcing the giveaway on the next video, so make sure y'all watch the next video to see who the winners are. And the prizes are going to be $1,000 total? $1,000 total, and so it's gonna be 2 winners. So each winner will win $500. So again, just comment y'all's TikTok username. Make sure y'all are following our TikTok. Good luck, and like I said, we'll announce the winners on the next video. All right, so what's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another haircut tutorial. Today I got my boy Nick here on the chair, and we're gonna be wait, what are we gonna be doing?
Buzz it.
Buzz it?
Buzz it
a
on.
2? Mid-drop 8?
Yeah.
What do you want on top? A 5?
5.5.
A 4?
5.5.
A 2?
A 1.
A 3. All right, a 5. All right, so we're gonna be giving him a 5 on top with a mid-drop fade, and I'm also gonna trim up his beard, clean it up, and line it up as well. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to like it. Let's just jump right into it. All right guys, so to begin, since he wanted a number 5 on top, so it's a true number 5, I'm gonna just close the lever all the way, and I'm gonna just run this guard multiple times over the hair until we get an even cut. Also just consider locating his swirl in the back, that pattern, and you're just gonna kind of go against the grain. All right, now that the top is cut, you're just gonna, as soon as you're done, you're just gonna wanna kind of take a step back and just stare at it. No, just play. No, you're just gonna wanna make sure that no little hairs are kind of sticking up, or just to ensure that you don't need to go over it another time. And once you've determined that there's no more little hairs sticking up, everything looks as even as possible, then we'll proceed with setting in our guidelines next. Start with the number 0, so just make sure with no guard on the clipper, close the lever all the way. I'm gonna lay down my first guideline right about under the temple peak, and I'm gonna kind of curve it, kind of giving it that little rainbow effect, and then just drop it towards the back. And we're just gonna make sure that we follow up that first guideline all the round to the back until we match up on the other side. So as y'all can see, I did lay down that first guideline. I kind of gave it that little rainbow effect. I kind of dropped it towards the front, and that's just gonna be for shape up purposes, just so we can leave a darker edge when it comes to lining them up. Before you move on to the next guideline, what you're gonna wanna do is just ensure that your guides kind of match up in the front. Make sure that you have your even line on the back. This is probably the most important guideline because the rest of your guidelines are gonna flow according to this one. So if this one's not straight, then the rest of your guidelines ain't gonna be straight, and you're just gonna have a crooked haircut. And you don't want that. Yeah. For our next guideline, what you're gonna wanna do is open the lever on the clipper to a 1/2. And we're just gonna lay down our next guideline coming up about a 1/2 inch, or about, you could even lay down your fingers for reference, and that's how wide you're gonna kind of go up into that, above that first guideline that you set to lay down our next guideline. So let's just do it. So let's just do that. So as you can see, we just finished laying down that next guideline. For our next guideline, I'm gonna throw on the number 1 guard, and I'm gonna still make sure that that lever stays all the way open to lay down our next guideline. And same just like before, we're just gonna come up about another finger in length or about a 1/2 inch in length, making sure that it just runs parallel to that previous guideline. So now that that guideline was just laid down, for our next step, I'm gonna throw on the number 2 guard. And again, just like before, I'm gonna keep that lever all the way open still. And I'm gonna come up about another 1/2 inch or another finger length in width. Another length and width. Okay, another finger length and width.
Or the width, about the width of your finger. Because that's what you're saying, right? Because
yeah.
It's the width of your finger.
Yeah.
Just the width of your finger.
Yeah, do you want to just teach us? You want to just take my job, dog? You want to come by here? No, just... So yeah, we're just going to come up about another 1/2 inch or another width and finger up high from the previous line that we just laid down. All right, so for the next step, I'm gonna throw on the number 3 guard, and I'm gonna still leave that lever all the way open on the clipper. And this time, instead of setting in a guideline, I'm gonna come up about another 1/2 inch. But this time, all I'm doing is connecting the side length to the top. So at this point, you're gonna kind of wanna imitate his head shape, kind of the direction that you're gonna wanna take the clipper, connecting the side length to the top. So if you gotta kind of flick out a little bit more so you can taper into the top, then do so that we can successfully blend the side length to the top as clean as possible. We just finished laying down our 3 guidelines. Sometimes in the comments, I get a lot of people kind of saying that it's hard for y'all to see the guidelines, but I promise y'all they're right there. You just kind of, you just gotta look. Nah, but with time you will build an eye to better see them. In some cases, it may be harder to see depending on the lightness of the hair that your client has. But just always kind of keep in mind, they're always about a finger in width separated. That uppermost guideline right here, then you have that middle guideline, and then you have that first guideline that we laid down. I'm gonna start by taking out that top guideline right here. And for that guideline, I'm gonna use the 1.5 clip. And I'm gonna position the lever to that 3/4 spot. All it really is the lever right in between it being all the way open and halfway. So we're just gonna find that middle ground in between those 2 spots, and that's gonna be our 3/4 spot. What I'll do is kind of use the corner of the clipper just so I could get in there in a detailed fashion to really blend out that line as much as possible. And just keep in mind that if you feel like that position doesn't completely take it out, then just close the lever a tad bit at a time until you actually see the clipper doing some cutting. Or if you feel like it's cutting too much at 3/4, then just open it all the way so you could blend out that line as much as possible. All right, so as y'all can see, I just finished blending out that top guideline as much as possible. We're gonna move forward onto the next guidelines, which is that middle guideline that you see here. Just keep in mind that this guideline is gonna take 2 guards to completely blend out. First, I'm gonna start by blending out most of it with this half clip. And I'm gonna position that lever still at that 3/4 spot. And I'm gonna just take out most of the guideline as possible that I can with this guard. And then whatever it don't take out, I'm gonna come back with the 1 guard to finish taking it out. We finished taking out the initial start of that middle guideline. Now, whatever little dark areas that we created right above, we're gonna come in with this 1 clip, and I'm gonna still leave that lever on that 3/4 spot. Again, just like before, just using the corners and in a detailed fashion, just blend out that line as much as possible. So now, as y'all can see, I just finished blending out that middle guideline all the way out. So we just got our first initial guideline to blend out. This guideline is gonna take 4 lever positions on the clipper to completely blend it out. First, the clipper's closed all the way. I open it a tad bit, then I open it halfway, then to the 3/4 spot, and then all the way open. And since it does take 4 lever positions to blend out, what I like to do is kind of break down this lash line into like small sections. So I'll just focus on blending out just right here first. And then once I blend out the line right here, I'll move on to the next section and then just keep going with that until we reach the other side and that first guideline is completely blended out all the way. So now that we're done blending out that first guideline, next what I'm gonna do is kind of go back in there and look for any little inconsistencies that I see in the blend or any little dark spots, whatever you like to call it. For his hair, he didn't need that much touch-up work, but I am gonna throw on the half clip and I'm gonna position the lever on 3/4. All right, now that I'm done with that last guideline being blended out, before I take out this hair, what I'm gonna do is kind of come in here and clean up his facial hair with the number 3 guard. Then we'll come back in and start taking out the rest of this bottom of this hair. So now once I trimmed everything down to a number 3, what we're gonna do now is basically do the same 3-step guideline that we laid up here. We're gonna lay it down right here. As far as how far you wanna taper it down, that's all preference. So get with your client to determine how low or how high you want the fade to be. Some people like it up here by the ear. Some people like it low, a lower blend down here. And once you figure that out, you can start by setting in your guidelines and then blending them out just like as we did on top. All right, so once the beard is trimmed up and nicely blended down, what I'm gonna do next is grab this Spritz spray and I'm gonna just spray his hairline up, blow dry it, and while it continues to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out the bottom of the hair. What I'm gonna do first is come in with my trimmer, dig it a little deeper towards the top and blend it out at the same time. That way when I come back in and take out the rest of the bottom of the hair, I'll be able to taper out and I'll kind of leave a little faint line. That's just gonna serve as another guideline to tell us how far to go up with our electric shaver. All right, so right here, you'll be able to distinguish that little faint line that I'm talking about. To better help you create that little faint line, make sure that you kind of taper out as you reach the top. So now that the rest of the bottom of the hair is out, I'm gonna come in with my electric shaver, come up just up until you reach that little faint line. And as I reach that faint line, I'm gonna kind of treat these electric shavers as they wear a pair of clippers. So I'm gonna just kind of release pressure and kind of taper outwards so that we don't create a harsh line up into the fade. So now what's left to do is start the lineup process. And also I forgot to tell y'all, the reason I use spritz is because I like the way it kind of locks and freezes the hair in place. That way when you come in with your trimmer and you're setting in your hard line, the hair's not moving around, it just stays steady, and it kind of helps give it a sharper edge. I'll first start by setting in my horizontal line right here. Then I'll kind of set in my vertical bars on the side, and then I'll just kind of stand back and just try to go as straight as possible across his forehead. And then once you're kind of done setting in your hard line with your trimmer, it's a good idea to kind of take a step back. You can also use your mirror to help guide you. And from there, what I'm gonna do is kind of come down and start lining up his facial hair as well before we come in with our straight razor and start doing all our shaving. All right, so now that I'm done lining up everything with my trimmers, I'm gonna start applying some shaving gel throughout all the areas that I will be shaving with my straight razor. And then also another little tip I like to do, after I apply the shaving gel, I'll also apply some water over it just to kind of preserve the life of the gel, helping it not dry out as fast as it normally would without the water. And now for the actual shave, what I'm gonna do is use my Turkish matte black straight razor. I know some of y'all have been confused on how to insert the blade onto these Turkish razors, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I do it. These little corners of the blade, what I'm gonna do is kind of just chip them off. And then now it's gonna be easier for you to insert at the tip of the straight razor, the blade. And stay tuned because we will be dropping the swing lock straight razors as well here soon. But for now, we have the Turkish matte black razors on the website at fadedculture.co if y'all would like to check them out. I do recommend that after y'all are done with every haircut, y'all blow dry y'all's client as much as possible, just so that they can go about their day without having a lot of hair on them, because we don't know if Nick here is gonna go see his grandma right after. We don't want him hugging his grandma and then she's full of hair. Nobody likes a grandma full of hair.
Nobody likes
So,
a hairy grandma.
yeah. For the haircut, it's pretty much done. What I'm gonna do now is add a little bit of enhancements. I know some of y'all don't like enhancements and y'all's brain flips upside down every time y'all see me apply some enhancements. For those that do like to use it, just mix equal parts of dye with water into a little portable air gun. I have all this stuff that I'm using in this tutorial. I have it linked down in the description if y'all wanna check it out. Now all that's left to do is apply a little bit of product of preference. Y'all could use either a shine pomade or a matte one. I'm gonna use a matte one for this haircut, and just kind of really rub it into your can before you apply it, and then just kind of mix it in there. All right guys, so that's pretty much it for this haircut tutorial on a skin bald mid drop fade with the number 5 guard on top. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. If y'all did, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and also make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. So leave me down some feedback down in the comment section about what y'all thought about the video. Also maybe some suggestions on what other kind of haircuts we should drop on this channel. Don't forget to leave down y'all's TikTok handles. Make sure y'all are following us on TikTok. Make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. And y'all can enter as many times as y'all want y'all's TikTok handles down in the comments for the chance to win $500 next week on our next video. So with that being said guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. My name is Sergio Barron, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.